was the beautiful voice of Mary Zhang singing about toxic relationships, that you put the rose-colored glasses on. That's why everything looks pink.
That's fun. I like that. What a wild week of Survivor it was last week.
You mean when they faked that snake thing?
Are there people actually thinking that, or is that just Bran?
It's not just Bran.
I don't understand why. I haven't been seeing anyone say that, but I haven't been super plugged in. Why? What makes them think it was fake?
Some people were like, I don't know if it really happened, but then some people were like, I think it was funny, and that like it was a dry bite, it wasn't even that dangerous, and they acted like it was this whole big thing. I know that I said previously that I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to complain about the complaining this year, but here I am.
I love complaining about the complaining because it does it, like, we're not helping matters. But I feel like there's not that many champions for the show anymore. I feel like Survivor, I think what upsets me is like 90% of the stuff I see online about Survivor is people hating on Survivor. So I get a little frustrated because I'm like, just stop watching. If you're going to bitch about it all the time, just stop watching.
And that's like with WWE, to bring it back to wrestling.
Yeah,
I found myself in that position where I was just complaining about it all the time, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give up on this. It's not worth it for me to just be frustrated every week.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
That's what I said to Vince McMahon in 2016. I sang that to him.
I'll be the one if you want me to be.
This has been Songs with Chase. I'm gonna have a stinger. Because I should have done that for the like when the train thing came up. If we had this has been Songs with Chase.
Songs with Chase. We really do just want to be radio DJs.
That's all this is. We're the sports radio of Survivor.
But I would argue that we bring a level of professionalism to Survivor broadcasting that they've had a dire need for. And that professionalism comes from not analytical dissection, not from being intelligent and thinking through the game from different perspectives, but just from, actually, I don't know.
I don't know if there is any professionalism. I don't know if there is any. It comes from Bran.
Yeah, the guy who runs a podcast network. Go figure.
Yeah, so we're going to talk some more about Jake, and specifically Jake's response to his elimination. And I want to play a clip from our podcast last week.
And the silver lining is not only did his dad get to see him play Survivor, he also got to be there around the general time frame of his baby's birth.
Yes. He did get to be there.
That's very nice.
How much you want to bet Jake saw the birth of his child and thought, I'm really glad I'm here instead?
Did he see the birth, or did he get there like right after? I don't know what the timing was.
He said he was there for the birth of his son.
Yeah. Okay, I missed that.
I would say that Jake probably got home after a near-death experience and realizing, hey, maybe I should be home with my family for this massive event. Witnesses the birth of his child and is like, I'm glad I'm here.
Okay, so that was what we thought. And then I get on Instagram the next day, and I see a collab post from Survivor CBS and Mr. Jake Latimer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a question asked, how did you feel when you were pulled from the game? And it's a picture of him crying with like the breathing tube at his nose. And he said, getting pulled from the game destroyed me. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about it. I believe I have a lot more to give in the game. So he was that basketball, like the Vince Carter meme of, I got one more in me.
I got one more in me. Come on. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm so surprised they didn't bring him back for 50.
I guess Savannah and Rizgod are that good. We'll see. So I was thinking, like, when asked something like that, he was going to say kind of the same thing that we said about, crazy how it all worked out. He still got to be there for the kid. And then instead it was just like unfinished business, man. I got to get back out there. He did post a graphic. It was like an AI graphic that said unfinished business.
Jesus.
And yeah. So that was pretty rough. And then I see some pretty good art. It was by somebody named Reality Paints, and it was a sketch of him looking off with also had like the snake on his shoulder, and it really had the same energy as the picture that I sent you of the wolf looking into the distance, so the kind of like alpha male reaction image.
Yeah.
So he had big wolf energy. What was your response to his response?
I couldn't really focus on his response, because the second after he posted his response, he went on a generational unhinged Instagram run, dude. I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on his posts, dude. We get a picture. We get a picture of him getting Botox.
What?
He says, really enjoyed my first Botox experience in Kansas. Haha. Hashtag Botox. Then he immediately starts promoting his DJ business.
Whoa. I didn't even know that was part of the equation. He never mentioned DJing.
He posts several posts promoting his DJ business. He promotes a commercial he did for a local business. Then he's getting on there today, and he's got an AI picture of him with the snake wrapped around him.
I just pulled that
to
up.
Turn around and post another video of him DJing and said, "Yo, DM me for DJ inquiries.
Message me for bookings. Come on, guys, if you want Jake Latimer at your wedding."
I mean, what an unhinged. Then he changed his Instagram bio to Sea Crate fan.
Whoa.
What an unhinged guy. I love it.
I'm looking at his page right now, and after seeing him as AI so many times, I just kind of think of like every picture feels AI to me. He's like an AI person now. In the Botox picture that you pointed out, I'm looking at this now. I didn't realize you get that much blood from Botox.
Well, I thought at first, I was like, oh, this is a silly joke. This is just him getting the medical after the snake bite. But then I was like, he got bit on the foot.
Okay, this is what he said to EW. I have unfinished business out there, and it was a tough way to go. But at the end of the day, I respect their decision. I think about it every single day. I dream about it every single night. I'm ready to go back. I want it. I need it. And I really hope they give me another chance.
I mean, good. Yeah, I'm cool to see him come back. I love returning players, and I love returning players that have something to prove. You know, because one of two things can happen. One, he comes back and wins the game, which is going to be like, whoa. Or, even better, he comes back and gets bit by another snake.
Man. What I was thinking through all these posts is talk about the baby. Like,
yeah, dude,
are we not going to mention the... Well, and then shout out to our friend Nerdtainment. We did actually just officially become TikTok friends with Nerdtainment.
Oh, heck yeah.
She didn't even ask. He just brought it up. So let me play this. And this actually kind of redeems him from what I was upset about, which was like, hey, maybe at some point mention that it was cool, the baby thing, and not just like, please, Mr. Probst, I want it, I need it, take me back. So let's hear from Nerdtainment and Jake.
42 hours before he was born.
40. Oh my gosh. I mean, things happen for a reason, right?
Yeah, that was, I think God had a plan, and as crazy as it is to not die from a venomous snake bite that's 10 times more venomous than the rattlesnake, and to get home for my kid's birth and still get to play Survivor, like, come on. Like, I mean, I didn't win the $1 million.
Sure.
Do I have unfinished business out there? I absolutely do. But at the same time, they were taking care of my health and my safety, and I respect them for that. I thank CBS. I thank the medical team, Jeff Probst. And yeah, let me tell you something a little bit, Jeff.
Yeah, so I love CBS. I appreciate CBS. But he said everything I wanted him to say right there. So I got to put the pitchforks away.
Yeah, and I mean, he shared a video. I know we're talking about Jake a lot, but this is our show. We can do whatever we want. He shared a video on Instagram of, like, he was at a watch party for that episode, and he was with Joe and Kevin, who was also medevac. He didn't get medevac. He just hurt his shoulder, right?
Yeah, he hurt his shoulder really bad and then got voted out, I think. I don't think it was he didn't get removed.
But yeah, so they're all around him, and Jake, and they're watching the moment that he gets medevaced, and it's like Jake's face is just completely blank. He's just like staring at the screen, and everyone's trying to like comfort him around him. And part of me was like, dang, like what a cool thing to like be on Survivor and then become a part of this community of former players. And then another part of me was like, how performative.
I did hear him talk about that experience at the watch party, and he said that it was just really emotional to watch back.
Yeah.
He was talking about how he just assumed he was dead.
I mean, that's got to be terrifying.
Yeah, and that's why I think to some people watching it and being like, "Oh, whatever, it was just a drive-by, get over it." Like, he doesn't know. Nobody even.
No one knows that.
How many of us knew that a dry bite even existed before last week? I mean, if you're like if you work in a zoo, maybe.
Yeah, well, because like the whole thing is like he got bit. He tried to stay calm at first. He was like, "Hey guys, check this out! I got bit," and then everyone is like, "This is the most venomous snake. This is a very big deal." I mean, you hear people yelling as you're on the boat, "Is he breathing?" You know what I mean? So immediately, I would be panicking, like, "Oh God, is this it? Am I going to be the first person to die on Survivor?"
I mean, what a record to have, though.
I mean, you'd go down in the books, brother. You'd be a fan favorite for the rest of your life.
Yeah, they're not going to cast us now because they know that we're going to be trying to die out there for the clout.
I'm chasing down sea crate snakes. I'm like, come on.
Hey, speaking of trying to die for the clout, remember that guy in the first season of the draft that we did? His name was Matt, and he just decided to climb up a giant rock for no reason, and he screwed up his arm so bad that he got medevaced. I was just thinking about that the other day randomly. Like, that was the dumbest medevac. I mean, and sorry, Matt, if I doubt he's listening to this, but that was like the stupidest reason I've ever seen somebody get medevaced. Just because he's like, you know what, I can do anything. I can do hard stuff. I'm gonna climb up there, and then he falls and has to leave the game.
Yeah, that was the season Kinsey won, right?
No, that was 2 seasons later that Kinsey won. Kinsey won 46. Wow. 44 is when we had that guy, I think.
Wow, that was a long time ago, man. Medevacs are always either extremely disappointing because it's someone that you wanted to watch play the game further, or they can make for great TV. I think this is one of those times where it was probably, and I haven't seen people thinking that it was fake, but I have seen a lot of people kind of clowning it and that they think the show was over dramatic. I think it's got to be one of the most terrifying things that's happened on Survivor. The fact that it's 10 times more venomous than a rattlesnake means that this is not an over exaggeration by any means.
And he just got really lucky. And I also heard that some people were criticizing the show for not letting him play again.
Yeah, but I think Jonathan nailed it in our main episode last week when he said he was probably so pumped with medicine and different drugs and stuff that they probably just couldn't put him back in the elements. They had to keep him under because they assumed it was a dry bite. They were doing the test of it, but you can't know for sure, I would imagine, unless you go to an actual hospital where you can be monitored properly.
Yeah, and I was reading some people pushing back and being like, a dry bite can still get infected.
Oh,
and sometimes you don't know until like a couple hours or a few hours after the fact whether it's a dry bite or not. So
yeah, and there's also another side of it, which I don't think is the reason, but there's also the thing of like, they're pumping this guy full of fluids. They probably had to put something on his stomach he's eating. It probably wouldn't be fair to the other castaways if he got to go back in the game full strength, Yeah.
And I think the main concern of the doctors were like, we don't know how his body is going to respond in these kind of elements after going through that kind of experience. So I think, not to be the Survivor apologist, we're carrying Jeff's water, but that is what we're going to do here. I think Jeff and company made the right decision.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 100%. And they'll bring him back. I'm surprised they didn't bring him back for 50 because they love a story. So, what better story than him coming back? But something tells me that they might do a second chance season or maybe even a new era All-Stars season in the near future.
Yeah, I would love to see a new era All-Stars, put Jake on there, and then he can form an alliance with our buddy Saul.
Yes.
I want to see Saul and Jake together.
In a non-sexual way.
It's also incredible that all these seasons later, we get a repeat of the season 1 quote from Rudy of the not in a homosexual way.
And I doubt Jake even knows where that was from originally. I bet he thought he was the first one to say something like that.
Gosh, man, that's so funny. But yeah, I mean, we joke around a lot. This is the sanctuary where we're not playing our hyped up, exaggerated characters as much. Yeah, I mean, I think that was a super scary moment, super traumatic moment for him. I am going to make fun of his Instagram posts because it's wild, but I am super glad that he's okay, and I do hope he comes back.
Yeah, see, when the time comes, maybe Jake can come on here and tell Chase he's an asshole for making fun of his IG stuff. We're open to that. We're open to any player.
Did it too.
I didn't do any of that.
Yeah,
I've only supported Jake.
Jonathan called him a deadbeat dad.
Yeah,
maybe we should have him roast Jonathan.
Definitely. He'll roast both of y'all, and I'll be like, hey, I supported you from the beginning.
No, you brought it up first.
Now, I did bring it up technically, but it was to work around to the fact that Nerdtainment had the good quote with him, so it was all part of my plan.
Oh, so you were tearing him down to lift him back up.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. What's next?
That's it. No, I'm just kidding. I do have a couple more things. Earlier, I was like, let's see if we can even fill time, and then we did 20 minutes on Jake.
Yeah, who knew we had a lot to say?
All right, so next up, we're going to do a segment called Wild and Will Reports on the Trashy Annie concert. Will has sent us a 2-minute message from his experience seeing Trashy Annie. So let's check in with Will.
I am disappointed. I am pissed off.
Wrong, Will.
I'm highly upset. I'm mad. Every adjective you can think of.
I didn't mean to play that, Will.
That would have been a great bit if that's what he sent in for his review of the Trashy Annie.
Yeah, I'm just going to play Will from Big Brother clips as this segment.
What's up, Making the Merge? This is your Boston field reporter, Will Flater speaking. Today's October 3rd, and Taylor Swift has just released her album, The Life of a Showgirl. However, no one truly embodies the life of a showgirl better than Kimberly Trashy Annie Davis. She is currently touring the continental United States with her band and performing at an array of bars, venues, and Bryson Wen Survivor watch parties. Her second boot finish ain't stopping her from performing at the finale. Annie performed at the Greatest Bar in Boston on Wednesday, aka Shannon's parents' 4-floor sports bar where Boston Rob works, for the Boston Bryson Wen event, and I want to, set the scene for you all. Trashy Annie pushes through a crowd of Survivor fans and former players, absolutely covered in body glitter, wearing a 2-piece sequin-covered set showing a lot more skin than you expect from an almost 50-year-old, and she is barefoot for the entire set. She is dancing on stage, immersing herself in the crowd, standing on speakers and tables, and the whole time, she's barefoot. Of course, this raises the question if she ever got her shoes back from Jake the Shoe Bandit Latimer, and also about the safety and cleanliness of the bar floor, but that's besides the point. Trashy Annie rocked. While the bar is not the greatest setup, her voice was often drowned out by her instrumental bandmates. She more than made up with that with her energy, her passion, shouting out the ladies and the recently single with her blend of originals and covers, including a recently released version of Buck Cherry's Crazy Bitch. The most iconic part of the concert, though, is when she pulled out a sequin-covered dildo with the name Jake in shiny silver letters. In the song's intro, she says for the crowd that she named the dildo Jake when she wrote the song because she didn't know anyone named Jake and she didn't want to make it weird. And then the next thing you know, she's standing on the Kelly mat, and who else is there but Jake, the shoe bandit. While he was not in the audience that night, Jake O'Kane from Survivor 45 was. It was an interesting time. The song itself is coming out in a couple weeks, according to Trashy Annie. Date do be determined. And throughout the song, she proudly waved Jake back and forth as she stood on the amp. Trashy Annie, if you're listening to this, thank you for giving Boston one hell of a show. I can't believe I'm saying this, especially on the record about a country rock band, but she absolutely ate. I can't lie. Back to you making the merge.
Thanks, Will. That is a very interesting report. I kind of wish I was there. That's my main takeaway.
I really wish I was there. I would have pressed her a little bit more about naming it Jake. Well, you don't think maybe you should change the name before, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's free to change it. You know, once you name a dildo, I don't think it's stuck with that name forever. I don't know how those laws work with dildo naming, but I feel like, you know, pick another name of people you don't know, because now you know a lot of Jakes.
Name Jeff. Jeffy.
Yeah.
Jeffy
Or
Probst.
Probst. Yeah, name it Probst.
That would
for
be
sure.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I said at one point we were going to do a Trashy Annie deep dive. I think Will just gave it to us.
Yeah, I think he nailed it. Great work from our Boston field reporter. We'll be there 2 weeks.
Yep, in 2 weeks we will be there. We will be looking for Trashy Annie. I don't think she'll be there anymore, but we'll be looking for her. And I would play another Trashy Annie song, but I didn't load one, so let's just listen to Bama again.
Put your money on the bar, tip the band while I work it like a little porn star. I know you wanna love me like a guy in every bar, but honey, put your love in the motherfucking tip jar.
In a non-sexual way.
I like her gimmick, man. I mean, her name's Trashy Annie. She makes, like, trashy
songs,
country song. I dig it. I dig it a lot. I unironically really like the songs.
When I saw that she had a song called Crazy Bitch, I was like, that name's taken. And then I clicked on it and I was like, oh, it's a cover of the one that I thought. But it starts off in an interesting way because there's a male voice and it says, when your crazy bitch dumps you for a crazy bitch. I'm like, wait, hold on. Could we not have written a better intro? The one that made sense, maybe?
I don't know where it came from. Maybe that was like something that happened and she just happened to... Maybe it was a voicemail that someone left her. You know, we don't know the backstory.
Yeah. You know what? We'll have to ask her when CBS allows.
When CBS allows us the keys to Trashy Annie.
Yeah, CBS gives the keys to some people quicker than others. We're on the wait list for the keys.
Hey, man, I don't think we're getting the keys, brother.
I don't think we should. We're nicer about this show than some of the people they've given the keys to.
Yeah, we're so nice. We always support Jeff, even when he's wrong.
Yeah,
Jeff
honestly,
could kill a guy, and I would be like, well...
Jeff could lead a violent uprising.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I would be one of his soldiers.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me?
Because I'm sure whatever the cause is, it would be just. So yeah, I would. I'm always going to ride for Jeff.
They call him Just Jeff Probst because he's always just.
Always just, always kind, and he's also omnipresent.
Oh yes.
So I think last thing that I have. I mean, maybe if you have anything, then we can end on that. But the last thing I have is Kristin's ghost team.
Yeah, this is important. We definitely need to go over this.
Yeah, so just a little bit of background in case Kristin... I'm sure she'll give it anyway, but Kristin, she played the draft episode, and every time Jonathan would make a pick, she'd pause it before Jonathan's pick and make her own pick so that she can see at the end of the season if she did better than Jonathan.
You know, you were right, dude. It's the she's-in. Because she... is
okay,
always the winner. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Or maybe she's fallen off. Let's see what Kristin's picks are.
Hey guys, it's Kristin. So, while I'm not actively participating in the draft this year, I did want to create my own ghost team to figure out how my picks would have stacked up against Jonathan as he goes out onto his own for this season. So, as I listened through the draft episode, I just chose who I would have picked at that moment in the draft whenever Jonathan was doing his random dice strategy. So here we go. My top pick, MC. I think that she's going to end up being a good player. She seems like she'll be hardworking, that she's strong, and she's a salesperson. So I think we've got some good elements there to work with. My second pick, Jawan from Team Uli. All I have written beside his name is hard worker ? But he seems likable enough, so we're going with Jawan. My third pick is Jason. I think that he's going to be motivated because he was an alternate. I think he seems very practical, smart, while hopefully also going to have a good social game. We shall see. And then my last and final pick is Matt. So we will see how my team stacks up against Jonathan when we get to the end of the draft, and that will show us who is the better half of Team Right. He might have to beg me to come back in the future. We'll see. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy the rest of the episode.
So when she said Jason, my first thought was Jason wasn't available in the third round, but then I remembered she's competing against Jonathan. Jonathan took Jason first. So theoretically, in this ghost world, he is still on the board. Kristin thought it all through.
She took 2 players that Jonathan drafted.
Yeah, which is interesting. That's why I think she might be falling off a little bit.
Jason and Jawan, and then she took one of your team, which is Matt. That was your last pick.
Yeah, I didn't want him. I didn't want him or Alex, but I wanted Matt more than Alex.
And then she took MC, who was on Brand's team. This is fascinating picks from Kristin.
You know what's important to note here is that Kristin did this right after the draft.
Yes.
Right after she listened to the draft. She did not see the MC shining moment from last week. This was before then. She just had a feeling about MC that I think is, proving to be correct. MC looked great last week.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. She could be the winner, I think. One thing that I'll point out about Kristin's draft is, and this is peeling the curtain back a little bit, but in our personal group chat, she said that she thinks my team was the worst team this season.
Yeah. And our listeners also, I think, agree based off of...
I've got a couple more people locking in with me over on the Patreon.
Okay, so are you tied with Jonathan now? I've lost count.
I don't know. I've lost count. I have to go back in there. But we've got like 50-something comments on that that post, so it's a lot to keep track of.
A lot of them are Jonathan replying to people being like, yeah, let's go, dice, whatever. But
man, we got to do something about Jonathan, man. Especially if he wins this season, he'll be unbearable. 2 seasons in a row.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it would be miserable. He'd be over there like.
I cannot believe that he was. I drafted him first round, and he is gone already. I've never been so disappointed in a player.
Taking your first player from the Blue Tribe is pretty risky.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to pay off, man. I didn't think that they were going to drop down to 2. I mean, they've done it only 3 other times.
Yeah, then I'm feeling really good about my Sophie pick now, but it all depends on how the shakeup goes next week.
Yeah.
But I love what I've seen from Sophie so far. And I'm going to be completely honest. I only picked her because of where she's from, because the last time I picked somebody from there, they won.
Yep.
And it made me very happy. And then I won't shut up about D all this time later.
In a non-sexual way.
Are you going to watch the new season of The Challenge since D's on there?
It's ongoing. I haven't watched it because I saw the confessional count from the first episode, and it said she got 2 confessionals, and I was like, if it's not D-centric, if she wins, I'll regret it. But if it's not the D show, I'm not interested.
You'll regret it.
Yeah.
Detective Segretti is on the case.
Detective Segret about it. She mentioned her comment she mentioned her name in our
Yes,
comments.
yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm loving this cast. I think it's one of the best casts. I said that last season, and then it ended up going.
And it fell
poorly.
off a cliff. You're like, this is awesome. It's one of the best seasons ever. And then Mitch just freaking at gunpoint.
Yeah, that was crazy. But here's what I'll say: we haven't had any songs yet this season. I wonder who's going to be the first one to pull the trigger on a song for this season.
Or if it happens, last season it was just there's a lot of inspiration. The whole reason it came about in the first place is because Thomas worked with Olivia Rodrigo.
That's right.
And he also worked with Chappell Roan. And
Yes.
I think he did something with Katy Perry. And so I was thinking about that. And then his relationship with Bianca when he left, and I was like, oh, the one that got away, that's perfect, lock it in. And then I created an avalanche of songs unintentionally.
Yeah, Jonathan came in hot with Big Bro Club, and I hope we can recreate that magic this season.
But I don't know if it's going to happen, and that's why I don't want to say, like, I don't want people to be expecting anything because what if this season, what if we just don't get the inspiration for songs? I mean, it's possible.
It is very possible. I mean, so far, if there was inspiration for a song, it would be a depressing song. Because Jake almost died, and my guy got voted out.
And then Trashy Annie and Nicole got
Nicole
bullied.
was puking and getting her shoe stolen, and dang, man.
But last year, it was week 4 when I did the song. The 4th episode was Thomas's elimination episode. So maybe this is the week.
Another one of my players.
Yeah, rest in peace, Thomas. At least, you know, he got to go home and keep working with Olivia Rodrigo, so he was fine.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for listening to The Sanctuary. We will be back in just a few days with our main episode where we cover the episode from this week. Have you watched the preview that came out today for Wednesday?
I have not.
I haven't either. I'd like to be surprised.
But I'll tell you one thing.
I'm appreciative for CBS. I love CBS.
I'm leaning on the sound drops today. There's a lot of these that I need to get rid of because we'll keep this one.
But it's a lot of meat.
That one needs to stay. But some stuff like Jeff on The View, we don't need that in there anymore.
No,
or
we
like
don't need Jeff on The View.
There's one titled Ashley. I don't know what that is. Let's hear it. Oh, it's a 25-second argument I think Ashley had with somebody. Never mind. There's Frank. What's Frank about?
Hey, CBS, Frank from San Francisco, California. Go out there and bless someone with a smile today.
It's one of those. If you guys aren't aware, because I don't think I brought it up this season, CBS does these super weird bumpers where they get a completely random person to be like, "Hi, I'm Elaine, and this is my donut shop, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day." And then bump, 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 bump. And then the show either ends or starts.
Insane work.
All right. This has been, I was about to say the Time Machine. What is wrong with me? This has been Survivor Time Machine.
This has been The Sanctuary. Let's get Gail King back in space. We're out.
Yeah, let's do that. Gail King for president.
You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here in the old studio. Thanks for listening or don't listen. It's really up to you at this point. It's at the end of the show. I mean, you're listening to me. Hi. But here they come. I promise they're coming. Yep, here they are. Happy day.